Go ahead. No, go ahead. Oh yeah, no, you good. You good. You good. Hey, this is Mark's Washington live here at Capital One Arena. Georgetown falls to Syracuse, 80-68, in a game that Georgetown's uneven roster got exploited. Again, before the season, we talked so much about, you know, where this roster lacks. We knew it was not a comprised roster. It had things missing to it. Syracuse today did a great job at exploiting those things. And it started in the backcourt. It started with Judah Mintz and J.J. Starlin flat out just being better than Jaden Epps and Dontrez Styles today. Starlin has not shot the ball like this all year, at least not against a quality opponent. He came into this game shooting 12.5% from three, and today he was 3 for 3. He was 8 for 14 from the floor for 21 points, had 5 rebounds. It's just not the star. It's the Starlin that you knew he was capable of being, especially when he first got to Notre Dame. But it was the Starlin you hadn't seen. As I said, a lot of times he plays inefficient. He did not play inefficient today. And Judah Mintz, it was an absolute dog out there today. He was on both ends. He was so impactful. He was engaged. He was connected. Obviously, on the offensive end, he had 25 points and 3 rebounds. He was 13 for 15 from the free throw line, which tells you how much stress he was putting on Georgetown's defense. That's a lot of free throw attempts. And yes, Mintz has the ball in his hand a lot, but still, that means you don't have anyone in your roster who could stay in front of him, which ended up being Georgetown's part of Georgetown's issue tonight. And then it's the others. You know, usually you got to get that third guy that will get in there and contribute. And today it was Copeland he averages 5 points, 5 rebounds a game. He had 14 today on 6 or 7 shooting. So not only do you let their 2 best players be the best players, then you let them get a third player that makes that direct impact on the game. And not only did Copeland have the points, but he also defended Epps on the other end. And he was part of the group of Syracuse defenders that made Epps such an inefficient player today. Epps was 6 for 17 from the floor, 1 for 9 from 3, 4 for 7 from the free throw line. He never looked comfortable. He looked worn down. And it's one of those things, Georgetown could have been a lot more effective, and Epps could have been a lot more effective if you had another point guard or another primary ball handler that could really kick off an offense against a defense like this and allow Epps to play off the ball. And that way you're running Copeland through screens, you're running Mintz through screens, you're making them play your actions, and you're kind of wearing them down too. But instead, that wasn't the case. You had to keep the ball in Epps' hands. He also turned the ball over 5 times today. And then as for Styles just could not get the ball. He only had 5 shot attempts, made 1, was 0 for 3 from 3, and he had some open ones. He finished with 7 points. But the big thing with that one was Cuse's ability just to remove him from the offense. When he did catch the ball frequently, it wasn't in a position to be a threat. It was, it's in a position where you either swing it or whatever the case may be, or try to do something. And Syracuse took that away. And that goes all to not having enough at those positions of guys who can do different things. Syracuse defense at times had Georgetown running their offense from past the hash mark. You just can't do it. That's not a way that you can win a game. If you're looking for a positive, Supreme Cook, this was the best game I've seen Supreme Cook play. He had 16 points and 10 rebounds. And, he was engaged the entire game. He was intense the entire game. He just played really, really well. But certainly that was not enough for Georgetown. And like I said, how inefficient they played, the turnovers. You look at it, Georgetown had had 14 turnovers that was converted into 20 Syracuse points. Syracuse also outscored Georgetown 20-2 in fast breaks, and part of it was Syracuse, when they had the opportunity, they went from defense to offense so fast. I mean, it was with a quickness, and you've heard me talk about that transitioning from defense to offense on turnovers and missed shots. Whereas Georgetown, who forced Syracuse to turn the ball over 13 times. So it wasn't. No, Syracuse turned the ball over 14 times along with Georgetown. And listen to the Georgetown numbers, 13 points off turnovers and 2 fast break points. No, Georgetown never looked like they were outrunning, pushing. Even at being in a game when there was a lot of scoring going on both sides, it was never felt like Georgetown was comfortable and had the ability to really, really run their stuff. And for Syracuse, they did that quite a bit. So we're going to wrap it up here. Again, Syracuse 80, Georgetown 68. You will see me again probably in a couple of hours as I head down to George Washington for their game tonight. It's Marcus Washington with MTC Media.